Hi, I'm Richy.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
And we're the hosts of the Well podcast.
And in this show, we're going to talk about all things marketing related and the things that RA marketing can do for financial advisors, as well as what we're doing in our own financial advisory practices.
Yeah, like Andrew said, we are both active financial advisors. So we're in the field doing what you guys do. And so in this show, we'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
This episode of The Well starts now.
All right, welcome back. This is The Well. This is season 3, episode number 4.
Episode 4. This is going to be a little different one. We're not going to talk as much about like our personal production practices. This is an RA podcast after all, so we're going to spend a little time talking about the what's latest and greatest at RA marketing, because we got 2025 has been a busy year. The end of 24 and the beginning of 25, there were just a lot of things that we added in, and we're excited about them.
Yeah, about RA specifically. Yeah, a lot in our personal stuff, but RA itself is just... it's magic.
Yeah, it's getting bigger. It's getting better. We had I don't remember the exact number, but I think last week was our biggest launch week ever, and that's awesome. I mean, March and April are huge marketing months anyway, so it's not unexpected that it would come at this time of the year. But it's always cool to see milestones hit, and it's like, all right, yeah, we're starting to build some momentum here and seeing a lot of great positive things and growth. So
yeah, that's cool. Meaningful. I mean, we're almost... technically, 2016 technically, but we went full-time 2018.
Yeah.
So we're almost 7 years of full-time, and we're still growing. We're still hit our number 1 month.
Yep.
I mean, that says a lot. We're definitely super proud of the team. I was telling you right before the show, I'm not going to tell you because I was waiting for the episode, but I was talking to a guy yesterday who knows RA, like knows the brand and knows that it's marketing, but he didn't know it stood for Richy and Andrew.
Oh.
So when I was talking to him, he goes... I knew you guys for like a year, and it never hit until somebody just yesterday was like, oh, you know Richy is the R. And he goes, what? Yeah, he's the R in RA. He goes, oh my God, I didn't know that. I said, dude, that's like a compliment.
Yeah, we were trying to get to that point where it's not like like it's not synonymous with our names necessarily. That
we
was
were
the goal.
just like trying to name this thing, and of course in the beginning it's like, oh, Richy and Andrew, because we didn't know what it would flower into. Like we knew we were building a company, but I think at the time we probably self-limited a little bit to like a lifestyle business. It was like me and you and maybe a couple people or something. So it was like, oh, Richy and Andrew, RA, we'll just do it that way. And as we grew, it's like, no, we need to rebrand into RA Digital or RA Marketing, not Richy and Andrew. So we've successfully done that because he had no clue.
Awesome. Well, RA doesn't stand for anything. It's just really awesome marketing. That's
really awesome marketing.
Really awesome marketing. It doesn't stand for Richy and Andrew anymore. That's cool. That's Keith was giving a presentation at one of our partners, Stonewood, a couple weeks ago, and he it was kind of a joke. He talked about the whole RA thing. What does RA stand for? And he like rattled off like, I don't know, like it seemed like 30.
ROI always.
Yeah, it was like all these different things, but it was kind of a clever joke. But I think to your point, that's kind of what we want. We want that kind of. Obviously, this is our business. It's our baby. It's something we're very proud of. But it's we're not in the business 24/7 like we used to be. We've hired really well, and we've got some great team members that take care of most of the heavy lifting for us. And
right, we just we run the business, right? Like we're not doing individual campaigns and that kind of stuff. We make sure people are paid. We make sure people are happy. Really exciting, I think. We stood up the 401k.
Yeah, we're a real business now.
We're
grown-ups now.
Our first hire is still with us today, and then our second hire still with us today. Like people are not like we're having longevity, so it's like, hey, let's get serious. Like let's start. People are giving us their career years now. Yeah, let's reward it.
Yeah, and both of them went on their 5-year trips recently.
They did,
and one of them got married on her 5-year trip.
Heck yeah.
Which I think I don't know if we get credit for that or not, but
I mean we paid for the wedding.
I mean, basically, but weren't invited. That's kind of weird.
What the heck, dude?
But they eloped. Nobody was invited. So to be fair, had it been a real a big event, I'm sure.
I feel like she brought us with them though. Like
we were there.
She kept us updated. She like sent pictures. Like it was pretty cool. We're super excited for her. So
yeah. And Paul went on his. They went on a cruise, I think, and had a great time. And
he said I asked him where did he go, and he goes, "Oh, we got on a cruise boat."
Okay.
What is a cruise boat, Paul?
like what kind of cruise boat? Yeah, we're talking like a river cruise?
It was like a dinner boat. It was totally different than like I'm on a cruise ship.
Right.
I still don't even know. I think they went on a cruise, like an actual.
I think so. When he told me that he was doing that, I thought he said he was doing like a Caribbean cruise.
Yeah.
But he had a great time, I assume.
Yeah, hopefully they earned it as part of their 5-year. You might have already said this. As part of their 5-year kind of reward, we just gave them a chunk of money for a vacation. So
I think the only stipulation on that is like, hey, you can't. This isn't cash. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do that if you want, but we want you to go have a good time.
Yeah, you're not paying your internet bill with this. Like,
That's right.
We want you to go and have an experience with you and your family, whoever your friends, whatever you want.
Yeah. So I'm grateful they both did that.
Yeah.
That was,
so RAs,
cool.
I mean, it's building, it's growing. We're bringing on new partnerships.
Yep.
And man, I'm just proud of it. And because I think of that growth, Keith, right? I mean, we give Keith credit on kind of having a little bit of an epiphany, and then he dropped it to us, and we were like, absolutely, let's run with that. It's like we're an event marketing company.
Right. Yeah, we're not just a digital marketing agency that's pigeonholed into just digital marketing with Facebook ads or YouTube or whatever. We're an event marketing agency, an appointment generating event marketing agency.
There you go.
And so when he brought us that, at first, I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
He's like, why aren't we doing mail? And I was like, well, we're a digital marketing agency. And he's like, well, that's kind of limiting, Andrew. Like, we event market. We don't just do Facebook ads. And I'm like, okay, let me chew on that. Let me sleep on that. And we talked about it, and he brought it up again. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And I think you agreed right away as well. Like, this is not, we shouldn't limit ourselves to just one platform.
Yeah.
And so we've officially started doing mail as not on every campaign. We still have digital only campaigns. We have hybrid campaigns. We have mail only campaigns. I think where it's going to hit really well for a lot of advisors is the hybrid. I think it's going to offer the greatest opportunity. And we've talked about this for years. When we were in the sales seat, so to speak, selling our services, I always said that, there's a Venn diagram of consumers out there. There's the people that are only ever going to respond to mail. There's people only ever going to respond to digital. And there's probably some overlap. We don't really know what it is, that people that would respond to both. And I think what we're going to find with the hybrid is that middle section, maybe they prefer one or the other. They aren't never going to tell us, but one or the other will reinforce the other. So they'll get a mailer and they'll see a Facebook ad, or they'll see a Facebook ad and get a mailer, and it's like, oh, that's that thing I've been seeing.
Just keep seeing you, like, and it's just at bats.
Yeah, it's the tide that rises or raises all the boats, and so we're pretty excited about that. And price wise, very competitive with all of the mail houses that are out there. I don't think, like, just with like our digital, it's not going to be the cheapest one out there, but it's also not going to be the most expensive.
Right.
And we've got everything that they all have. We've got the trifolds, we've got the wedding style,
paper.
We've got the postcards, we've got the full page ones, all that stuff. So the team is really, I know at first it was a big ask because we're biting off a completely new kind of method. But
it's a brand new process and stuff, and it was a big undertaking, but it's the right move. When we started it, I knew we were doing Facebook ads, but we talked about doing YouTube and Instagram. We did some, X, Twitter back then stuff, and LinkedIn. And so we've always dabbled, but I think we both know, as we get more mature, the brand is established. Like, people know for the most part through our FMO partnerships and those things who RA is. But now it's like, we're not a one-trick pony. We do all of it. You want an event? Great. Is it educational? Is it dinner? Something in between? Great. How do you want to reach your people? Great. Like, let's go do it.
Yeah. We have one, was it last week or the week before, did it at a Ferrari dealership.
That was wild.
That was cool.
Hundreds of people, right?
Yeah.
I think
huge event. And like, I guess the dealership like brought in a production company and built a theater in the dealership
I think
or something.
The advisor brought in the company to build a theater.
Did he?
At the dealership. Yeah.
I know it was like a huge to do, and like obviously the Ferrari dealership was a big pull, and that was I think it was a business owners one, and like, I don't want to misquote, but it was like over 90% of the people that came were confirmed as business owners. Which, when you're targeting business owners, it can be challenging, but for whatever reason, that worked really well. Kudos to Paul and the team for what they do, kind of working their magic on the Facebook side of things. And that guy too, he's another one that's really excited about the Premier program that has all the advanced insights on people. And I don't know if you've used it yet. I've been using it on every single one of my campaigns and tracking it very carefully. And I've been pleasantly surprised at the accuracy of most of the data. It's one of those things where it's not 100% right all the time.
Sure.
But by and large, it's pretty spot on.
That's exciting. I mean, any piece of intel you can have going into it makes you feel a little bit better, makes you connect with them a little bit better. And that's pretty valuable. I mean, it's super cheap, and you can add it onto any campaign. It gives you all this info.
Right.
I don't know why I haven't done it, to be honest with you. Probably.
Yeah, you definitely
every
should.
time I don't, I think if I'm just keeping it real, it's it's just what do you call it? Where it's something it's habit. I'm just it's routine. My routine is order the seminar, through digital, start it, and I don't worry about anything else. And then after it starts, Keith's always like, "Hey, why don't you add this?" I'm like, "Oh crap! All right, next time." So
you definitely should add it. It's if nothing else, it's good. It's just gee whiz information for the most part. But what we found is, I mean, as you know, when you do run digital, half the people aren't coming, and it seems like there's a thing called the opportunity score in there, and it seems like the people with a low opportunity score, the opportunity score is, I guess, based off of, I don't remember, it's like 250,000 different people that matched certain common denominators of hiring a financial advisor. So Fidelity did this study, and they went to like 200, I think it was 200,000 people, and they studied what these people were like to find all their common denominators, and they were the people that had hired a financial advisor. So they're saying, all right, so we've built this profile of people that are actively seeking and hiring a financial advisor.
So it's how likely they are to
correct.
To go
so it's a 0 to 100, and obviously 100 is they're buying. They're moving forward. They're highly likely to hire, not necessarily you or me, but they're likely to move their assets and become a client of somebody. And what we found is the people that score very low are the people that tend to not show, and if they do show, are only there for whatever the event is.
It's pretty accurate then.
I'd say it's very accurate, because all of our best appointments have come from people that have an opportunity score of 40 or greater.
Okay.
And I would love to see if all of them were in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. With any marketing, you're going to have the people that are coming in that, even if they have assets, they're not real interested. The other thing that I've noticed, and this is common sense, the people with the higher opportunity scores tend to have higher assets. Because if somebody has higher assets, they're more likely to hire a financial advisor. I'm sure that's anecdotal. It's probably not accurate based on the models built. But so far, what we've seen, the people that come, schedule an appointment, and do business with us, A, have a higher opportunity score, and B, have more assets.
I love that. It's very interesting. Data is power. I mean, if you can have that, you can basically. So whether you're getting on the front end or the back end or everything in between, you should. I mean. Every appointment that I have, I started out with some sort of clipboard that they have to give me more information for that same reason, because you tally it up, it's like you know everything about them before they leave. Like they're like on paper. So having that before the seminar,
it's helpful.
Wild.
It's helpful for sure, because then you can also kind of keep an eye out for the person that's like, oh, this person scored an 83.
Yeah,
we need to make sure when that person comes, that's the one that we greet, and we don't, we're not giving deferential treatment to any one individual necessarily, but if you have the knowledge of like, hey, this is the person with the high opportunity score. Maybe you do take a little extra time to say, okay, I remember this person's name, and when I see them, I need to make sure that I go out of my way to greet them and be warm to them, because they're potentially looking for a financial advisor.
Yeah, just a word of caution on that. If you see that stuff, like don't let it go too far. You can't like let's say you get it back and they all are low opportunity score. Now you're going into your seminar already thinking there's no quality in the room.
Right.
That's not likely. First of all, like. Statistically, there's going to be quality in the room.
Right.
So just a word of caution. If you use a tool like that, it's for added intelligence.
Right.
It's not for dictation of how the event's going to go.
And to that point, very good example of that. We had somebody that came with they scored like a 3, and like all of the numbers across the board were low. And I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. And that's my attitude when we have people that are lower opportunity scores. That's my attitude in general. Like, there's people that are there just for the food. There's people that it is what it is. It's a cost of doing business. This individual, though, for whatever reason, the system was totally off. Like, she was super motivated to hire a financial advisor. She had just left her job. She's moving her 401k. Like, all the different things that an advisor wants to see in a prospect, she ticked the box. My thinking was that maybe the system mismatched her with somebody else because she had a very common name. And so you can't rely, I think to your point, you can't rely exclusively on that type of intelligence. You can use it to inform things. And it's almost like any other thing. Like if they score really, really high, that's, pay attention to that person. But just because they scored low does not mean they're not a good
just
prospect.
don't let it affect your mental.
Right. Yeah. You can't go into the seminar and be like, well, these 10 people are garbage. They're a waste of my time. Because that's not true.
That's not true. My dad, he would score a 1.
Right.
Because he doesn't have a phone. He doesn't even have a cell phone. Like he borrows my mom's,
Right. He probably wouldn't score at all. He's probably not in the system.
He's like a negative score. Like
right.
Where the heck is this guy coming? Right. But he would be a fantastic client you'd want to pick up. So it is good. And it's based on what you're saying, it seems very accurate.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know what percentage yet that it is. We've only done 5 or 6 campaigns with it. So probably at the 6-month mark, we'll try to tally up and say, all right, how many times was it wrong? Because I think it's right more often than it's wrong. And I think when it's right, it's really right. like for the most part, especially on the high opportunity score. Like if it doesn't score super high, if they score super high, I think they're matching enough things that the system is very confident, and that gives it like a higher confidence rating inside of the system, which therefore makes it, I don't know exactly how it all works, but I have found that when it gives them a high score, it's right. When it gives them a low score, it's hit or miss. Yeah, it's hit or miss. So
interesting.
So I would say, like exactly to your point, high scores definitely. I would lean on that. Low scores don't throw them away. It's going to be right some of the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's going to be wrong. And if it's wrong, and you treat that person differently because you think they're not worth your time, you lost that opportunity.
Right. Serve people, the business will follow. Like that's just how this industry is.
Yeah. Yeah. But go into it with intelligence if you can.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We've loved it, and we're going to keep using it for sure.
Yep.
And the only thing that we're not doing that's a part of the Premier package is the call center, because we handle that ourselves. We like the personal touch of that. But like we talked about in that last episode, 2 episodes ago now, that's a nice feature for anybody that's running on their own and doesn't have the support.
Or you're just running a crap load of events, and it's like some one person is making hundreds of calls a week. Like offload that for a couple $100, you're done.
Yeah, it's worth it for sure. Yeah. So mail, Premier. I don't want to give away the farm, but at some point, I would guess in 2025, we'll maybe even break into another new marketing medium.
Something in the works right now.
Something in the works for sure. We've had a couple of tests go out, and we've seen really, really positive feedback and results on that, and we've got the team for it. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
The word starts with RA even.
It does.
We'll just leave
There's
it
a great branding opportunity there.
I think there is.
So, and I mean, there's a couple of things in this camera frame that might even.
That's right. Yeah.
Be indicative of what we might be talking about there. So we'll keep you posted on that. That's I'm excited for that. It's going to be a much more, I don't want to say exclusive, but it's going to be one of those things that's it's much more territory driven because of the nature of it. But it's a high value thing for sure, and we're seeing some great success with it.
RA supports advisors from, just kind of getting going, $1 million a year, in production, all the way to $200 million a year in production.
Yep.
Andrew and I use RA completely for our businesses. Like, I don't use anything outside of it, and I'm on a pretty dang good roll rate this year. So, it's marketing. It's event marketing. If you need that, I don't think there's a better place. Maybe I'm a little biased, but we actually care. People care. I think that's a big difference. We're also very experienced. Our lead ad buyer is licensed. Like, I almost dare you to compete with Keith on knowledge of the industry.
Yeah. Oh,
any of it, investments, industry knowledge, any of it. Like, he knows more than anybody, and he's leading the team. Everybody else follows suit. So, man, just proud of him. Proud of what it's building. Proud of the growth. And I don't think there's a better place for marketing.
Yeah, I agree. I think the team that we've cultivated has an attitude of caring and serving, and that shows. And we're not perfect, right? I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Every company makes mistakes.
It's actually where we shine, probably.
Yeah, I think so. I think Keith has always said it, and it's something that we've kind of embodied all the way along. Is like, we're not perfect, but we work darn hard at it. Like, we're always trying to be perfect, and that's reflected in our work product. And the team delivers on that consistently. And if there is something that doesn't go right, we find a way to make it right.
And we usually are the ones that spot it.
Right.
That's also very, very key. We have these really intense marketing meetings where we're paying attention to everything. And if we spot it, we'll fix it. We'll tell the advisor about it. Like, it's not usually like, hey, you guys finding a problem coming to us. It's like, we're coming to you and saying, hey, this is what we found. This is what we're doing, whatever. So proactive, just knowledgeable, good people at RA.
Yeah. And that's
keeping it going.
It's been super eye-opening to me as an advisor now too. We haven't had, I don't think I've had any errors that on my campaigns, but like I had the one I told you about earlier this week where the venue changed on me last minute. And I was like, man, as an advisor, like, I'd be sweating because now you got this change that has to happen right away. But I was able to get with the team, fix it, make the change, make the updates, and boom, 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 boom. And it wasn't anybody at RA's fault. It wasn't my fault. It just happened. Right. And it was like one of those things you kind of have to dip and dive with marketing. And I think the team does a great job of being really flexible and supportive and understanding how to correct something that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Even when it's not anybody's fault.
Right.
Stuff happens. And
stuff happens. Just communicate with them. Like, if it's you doing or your marketing director or whoever, just have them get on a call for 30 minutes, with the team and connect with them, talk about family and life, like, get to know them. And then when you're going through these campaigns, it's like, just text them, hey, I don't know what this is, or how do I find this, or
Right.
How are things looking? They'll communicate back. So very, very active. I just love it. We're not like a super big shop like, all these other companies that keep buying each other and making this ridiculous corporate conglomerate.
Right.
We're not. That's not us. We're still, we're the only two owners.
Right.
And that's how we want it. And we're going to grow it that way. So we still can take care of people because we're small enough to be able to do that, but we're big enough to offer everything that you need. So
yeah, and we're not slowing down. I don't know where this thing is going to go from a size perspective, but we're not slowing down. Why would we? It's, I think there's a dearth in the industry of marketers that care. I mean, marketers in general, we have I don't say we, but marketers have a bad reputation. And some of it's earned.
Most of them shouldn't be.
Some of it's earned. And so that's baggage that we have to deal with. And I think it's been only almost like a chief complaint that we've had with some of our partners in the past. It's like, you always bring us the ones that have just had a messy situation with X, Y, or Z company. Right. And now we have to like be their therapist as well as their marketing agency.
Right. We get a new like IMO or something that wants to work with us. Almost always they're like, okay, well, let's test you out on old Roger who hates life right now.
Right. Yeah. He just had a miserable campaign with this company and another miserable campaign with that. It's like, we're fighting an uphill battle, but almost always we win,
So,
but so if you're interested in the mail stuff that we've got going on, I know we've touched on Premiere a couple of times. I definitely think you should check that out. We don't use this podcast generally to platform what RA is doing, but I mean, I think, if you're watching this and you need help with your marketing, whether it's mail or digital or whatever it might be, let us know and we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. We're going to keep this thing going. If there's topics you want us to cover, put it in the comments, email us, give us a call. I mean, we're happy to cover anything that you guys want us to cover because we're doing this with you. We're in the weeds. We're doing it. And we have the luxury of RA and seeing what 2,500 advisors around the country are doing. So, type us, let us know, but appreciate you guys.